أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق الأجمعين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين حبيبنا وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum to the brothers and sisters and our esteemed elders and Janab Sayyid. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us to be able to come to these majalis of Abu Abdullah Hussein. Now me personally, of course, I don't know how I've been able to use from the majalis, inshallah. Allah will see it with His rahmat and not with His adl. And inshallah that these majalis can be the stepping stones of us going towards ubudiyyat and going towards Allah and boarding the ship of Abu Abdullah Hussein, this ark of salvation, who is Abu Abdullah Hussein. As our beloved brother said, this Muharram doesn't end here. Ashura and the events that happened is every day. Brothers and sisters, we see that from the time that Saqifa happened, the Ahlul Bayt, they were never in rest. And those who followed the Ahlul Bayt will never be in rest. It will always be that something is happening, some zulm is happening. Akmaltu lakum deenakum happens if we accept Amir al-Mu'mineen. That's Akmaltu lakum deenakum. However, some people didn't let that happen. And as that happened, of course, tragedies will come from this event. Of course, we can say that Karbala would have not happened. Now, at least we can give that that maybe it might have not happened if Saqifa would have not happened. Yes, maybe later they would have taken the Khilafat from Amir al-Mu'mineen. But as long as the Imams would have been the true, and they are the true Khalifas, these events would have not taken place. And we see that after them, brothers and sisters, the Ahlul Bayt, none of them really had lives that were easy. None of them. The issue that I wanted to address today, I thought about it, that how is it related to Karbala? I thought it's very related. I wanted to mention a theological concept that a lot in the West use this to debunk Tawheed. So the majalis before, we spoke about Tawheed, and there's a debunk of this. There's a reason why they don't accept Allah. And the reason, of course, in these philosophical books, if you want to see, it's problem of evil. They say it's the problem of evil. As in, this question arises in the Western philosophy, arises in the Western world, that how is it that you can have an all-knowing God, and the same God is all-powerful, and is all merciful, and at the same time you have so many evil in the world, so many problems. And I thought to myself, this question doesn't really arise for a person that is a Shia. Because we grow up from childhood with this concept that yes, evil is a part of this world. We grow up with this mentality of resistance. We from the beginning, we know that there's these problems. We've learned from Karbala, these questions don't really bother us too much. This was a huge question in the Christian world. This was one of the reasons why so many came away from religion. They said, yes, well, look, Allah's supposed to be all-knowing. This God is supposed to be all-knowing. He's supposed to be all-merciful. He's supposed to have all of these qualities. In the same time, there is so much evil. Now, of course, I will give you the reason, the philosophical reason. But this question for a Shia that grows up with this mentality, that to Habibullah, to the person that Allah loves the most, that is Abu Abdullah Hussein, look at the things that he had to endure for Allah. We learn from Hazrat Zainab, مَا رَأَيْتُ إِلَّا جَمِيلًا. Even though you are seeing evil, this is beauty. Because from one perspective, it's not. There's no evil. And this is one way of answering it. That nothing truly is evil. It's the perception of it. Yes, many people did evil acts, of course. But that evil act of Yazid and Shimr and these people, la'natullah alayh, of course, these things happened to these individuals, went against Abu Abdullah. However, when we see it from the side of Abu Abdullah, it was a story of love and how he was completely in love with Allah. That he was willing to give everything for Allah. That Abu Abdullah, in those moments, he wasn't thinking, yes, of course, in normal standards, yes, he was upset, he was upset of what was happening, but from within, he was calm. He was calm from within. We have narration from Imam Sajjad alayhi salam saying that until from the morning of Ashura to the Zuhr of Ashura, all the hair of my father had become white. Become white from the stress. This physical stress is there. However, inside of the heart of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein was completely calm. This heart was content with Allah, was rida. He was happy with whatever Allah is happy. Once we had a teacher at the beginning when we were studying the Hawza, he said, this was his advice that inshallah that one day I would be able to adopt. He said, become an ocean. Become an ocean. Not a small little pool. When you throw a rock into a pool, it makes a lot of noise. A lot of splashes. Water comes out the pool. But a big ocean, even if you throw a huge rock, it takes it in. The sound isn't really there. Because this rock, however big it is, compared to this ocean, you don't see it. This ocean is vast. Become an ocean. Become in a way where these troubles that you see in your day-to-day lives, or even later when we will be examined, and we all are examined in a way or another, they're like nothing. They're but a small little wave in this huge ocean that I have within me. I'm calm. I'm completely calm. So this issue of problem of evil, which disturbed a lot of the West, and this was one of the key questions in philosophy of religion that they used against Allah, we are used to it. As Shias, we are used to it. The Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen is used to troubles. We have learned from the Ahlul Bayt. We have learned from Amir al-Mu'mineen that of course your followers will go against you. Will go against you. People of your own faith, of your own religion, will be the people that martyr you. We have learned from Imam Hassan alayhi salam that even within the family, it can happen that they come to take your life away. We have learned from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein the highest and the biggest story of tragedy that's ever happened in mankind and ever will happen. Story of Karbala. We've learned. We have learned what Imam Sajjad has endured. We have learned from Imam Baqir. We have learned from Imam Sadiq. We have learned even imprisonment that is not justice. We've learned from Imam Musa Qasim. We have learned how they had to poison, and they told him, of course, they knew, they forced him to poison of Imam Rida alayhi salam. We've learned this. We know this. We know Imam Jawad. We know the story of Imam Hadi, Imam Hassan al-Askari. All of these stories we know. We've learned. We know not a single Imam has had a comfortable life. This is normal to us. Now the reason, what is the reason? Of course, the one reason is from one aspect that you look at it, yes, this is not evil. And I'll give you a good example. Darkness. The concept of darkness is nothing but the absence of light. So the evil is the absence of justice. This is one example, and it's a good one. It's a good one, and it's completely correct. But a better one, a more complete one, a more complete one, is that this world that we live in is a nizam of ahsan. It is the best world that was created by Allah. Why do we say it's the best world? Because this world is the world that I need to better myself. This world was created in a way, Allah created in a way that I can better myself like no other world. This world needs to have this injustice and evil in it. That's how I can better myself. If there was no evil, if there was no injustice, there would be no growth. Why does there have to be evil? Because there needs to be free will. If there is free will, then you must accept that within this free will, some evil deeds will happen, because people can choose between good and bad. And bad will happen. But that is when good makes sense, when there is a bad. So the story of Karbala, why is it so important? Why did it happen in this moment? And it hasn't happened for any of the Ma'asumin like it happened to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? Because of the events and those people that were against justice in that moment in time. And they went against Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. That the field was set for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein to shine like he did. And this story of Abu Abdullah to happen. This event to take place. It is in these troubles and in these events that I can grow. There's a famous story from Said Hashim Haddad. He was a student of Ayatollah Qazi rahmatullah alayh. Said Hashim Haddad, he was a welder. He was doing welding. But he would study also, for example, the Hawza as well. But his main job was welding. He met his teacher, Ayatollah Qazi. His mother-in-law was very difficult. Every time his mother-in-law was living with them, every time he would leave the house, she would say bad words to him. Oh, you are so poor. Yeah, he was very poor. They didn't have that much money back then. You're very poor. Look what you've done to my wife. My daughter, sorry. My daughter is living such a poverty life. This is because of you. You have nothing. And saying very bad words to him. And he wouldn't reply. He wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't say anything. And this went on. This went on. He came to his teacher, Ayatollah Qazi. He said, I want to divorce my wife. He said, what's wrong? He said, no, there's nothing wrong between me and her. It's the mother-in-law. This is what she's doing. Ayatollah Qazi laughs and says, stick with this. She is the door to your heaven. This mother-in-law, she is not only the door to your heaven, but she is the person that can do the tarbiyat of you. With her, it is that you can build yourself. It's necessary. This person in your life is necessary. These events that happen, these people that I come across. If everything is easy and it's a breeze, there is no growth. There is no growth, brothers and sisters. There is no growth. We need these individuals, and Allah will put these individuals in our life. So the story goes that he goes back and he endures it. One day, it was more than he could stand. She followed him until the street, and in front of everyone saying, "Bad, what have you done? Look at this, we have nothing in the house." And it says that she got shocked suddenly. She got shocked and she ran away. She ran away. The story goes, how did she run away? Why did she run away? It is because Said Hashim Haddad suddenly saw that he wasn't in his body. He saw his body speaking to his mother-in-law. As in he's left it. He's left his own body. He's looking as a third person. And there he realized this event, this one small event, in the event of the cosmos is nothing. This is one small little event that is happening. Okay, she's saying something to me, I can endure it. It's not important. Other people will see that someone or my mother-in-law is saying bad things to me. In the event of the whole world, it's nothing. This is one small part of ubudiyat. event, you need these people. You need these individuals, brothers and sisters. We need it. As I mentioned, we have the ayah in the Quran saying that your awlad wa azwaj fitnatun. Now fitna here doesn't of course mean something bad. It means an exam. Your children, your wives, your husband. Yes, they will be there to examine you. And you will be there to examine for them. Vice versa. And these individuals, and you've of course heard that, for example, when people want to get married, do I have love towards this person? And they go with emotions. This is completely wrong. It's not supposed to go to it. If it was supposed to be emotion, then when Rasulullah asked Amir al-Mu'mineen, how did you see Fatima? Hazrat Zahra salamullahi alayhi. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, I saw that she is the best individual to reach me to God, to Allah. SubhanAllah. Can you see this mindset? We're supposed to follow the same. He said, this is the individual that can take me to Allah the best. Hazrat Zahra is the individual that can take me to Allah the best. This is the mindset in marriage. I need to pick, with some of the hadith that we have, and the ayat that we have, you're not choosing a wife, or you're not choosing a husband. What you're doing is you're choosing a mother for your children. You're choosing a husband for your children. See the mindset. The mindset in Islam is not this Western ideology of, oh, I fall in love and this person falls in love. Emotions that spark and then go away. Of course there needs to be some attraction, there needs to be something, of course. However, what is the characteristics that I'm looking for? Sometimes, unfortunately, we don't even look at the characteristics. The characteristics should be a characteristic that helps me reach Allah. This is the mi'yar. This is what I'm supposed to be looking for. Because this is what Amir al-Mu'mineen says. Even towards Hazrat Zahra. This is the best individual that can take me to Allah. The best individual. Now, does that mean in our lives and in our families we will have no issues? Of course there will be issues. Why will there be issues? Because that is the world that Allah has designed, and because He is all-knowing, we're going back to the problem removal, because He is all-knowing, and because He is all-merciful, and because He has all the power in the world, He has created a world that is the best field for you to grow and reach Allah, to reach Him. This is the best soil. In here, you need to be connected to the materialistic realm. For what? For you to come away from the materialistic realm. It's like a riddle. It's interesting. Within this materialistic realm, why have I put you here? So you come away from this materialistic realm. Why? I have designed it in a way that in this world you can reach me. Because in this world there is zulm, there is injustice, there is evil, there is problems, there will be issues. And I want to see, oh my insan that I have created in my image, what will you do in this moment? What will you do in this moment? Will you be like Abu Abdullah that gives everything away for me? Will you be like that? Will it be that you put your foot on your nafs and you will do that? Will you be like the companions of Abu Abdullah that there was not even a shed or a small ounce of arrogance within them? Small ounce of arrogance within them. They were completely in the khidmat and in the army of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Completely. Will we be like that? In the moment that I need to choose between, like Khur, being comfortable, being the general, being the leader, and leading people. Leading. Having status, having power, having money, will I put that all the way to become shaheed with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? Brothers and sisters, it's easy to say it now. Because in our minds we might say, oh, of course your name will live on forever and you will be... They didn't know that at the moment, at that time. They didn't even care about that at the time. All they cared about was Abu Abdullah Hussein. All they cared about was Abu Abdullah Hussein. The companions, all the companions, brothers and sisters, that were not from Bani Hashim, they did not allow one of the household of Abu Abdullah Hussein to enter the battlefield until they were alive. All the companions went before. They said, we won't allow. Until we are alive, not one person from the household of the Prophet will enter the battlefield. We are here. Why are we here? Until we are alive, there is no need for you to enter, Ya Abu Abdullah. This is this mindset. They didn't even think about evil, injustice. They say, what? This is ahlam and asal. Sweeter than honey. This problem, this issue that I wanted to come and resolve for the brothers and sisters, I remember I was thinking about it. I thought, we don't have these issues. As Shias, we don't have these issues. These are for other religions. We are brought up with problems and evil and injustice. Wherever a Shia goes, injustice will follow them and they will try to put him down. Is it not true? Look at today. In the world, who are the group that are the only group that stand against injustice? Other than the Shias? If we are not standing against injustice right now, brothers and sisters, something is wrong. Something is wrong. If we are not at least doing something minimum as boycotting, we can do that at least. If we're not doing that, we're not on the right side. It's all words. It's all worthless, honestly, with no ta'aruf. If that minimum we cannot do, at least to say it to a certain amount. To a certain amount for me to be able to, of course, excel in this ideology, to tell other people about it, then I'm not following the footsteps of the Ma'asumeen. Because of the footsteps of the Ma'asumeen, even when they were like Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, that he was in the problems that he was, and they wouldn't allow him to speak, and they had spies watch him all the time, he would say what he wanted to say through Sayf al-Sajjadiyya. He would do the prayers in front of other people. Whether it was in Mina, whether it was in different parts of Hajj, he would say these so that the people would wake up. Please, once after these nights that you have free time at your house, go look at the translations of Sayf al-Sajjadiyya. Read them. See how much of these are, they're supposed to be supplications, correct? How much they are about governing and governance and society and politics. Look, read it. Not my words. Go read the translations from Imam Sajjad himself. The problem is, brothers and sisters, we say we are Shias, we say we're Muhabbina Ahlul Bayt. Why do we not go read the books of the Ahlul Bayt? This is not a book that has fatwas of maraja for someone to say, you know, I don't accept this one or I accept. This is the book, this is the supplication book of Imam Sajjad himself. Let's read it. Read the translations. If we do this, brothers and sisters, tawfiqat will come for us. Blessings from Allah will come on us. Because a mu'min that is on the true path, yes, blessings will come in different ways. It doesn't mean I will not have economical issues. It doesn't mean that I will not be in pressure in some way or another. But I will have blessing. I will have blessing. I don't know if you've seen some of the shows, this mahfil that they put, for example, the Quran one in Ramadan. The one, not this year, the year before. They showed a man that used to live in Mashhad, and he was one of the richest people in Mashhad. You can go and see the show, and he's telling his whole story. The cars he owned, the houses he owned, the things he had, anything that all of us imagine of, from an amazing house, from an amazing car, and so on and so on, this person had. In the height of having all of these riches, he tried to commit suicide twice. He says himself. If happiness and content was in this world, brothers and sisters, all these famous people that you know of, would be very happy, but they're not. Most of them commit suicide, or they take, for example, some kind of drugs. They're not happy. They're not happy with their lives. But we have one individual, like Ayatollah Bahjat, saying, if you knew the pleasure I get from praying, if you knew the pleasure, this is his quote, that the king of China at the time, or if it was a king or not, but the person ruling China, the economical powerhouse, would leave all of that and come to Qom and sit next to me and do his prayer with me. If you knew the pleasure I get from this prayer. This comprehending for us is difficult. Of course, we have to reach to that level of Ayatollah Bahjat, of course, inshallah. But can you see that this man, if we look at it in the normal sense that we all try to see who is higher according to money, power, house, status, he has nothing. Small little house made out of clay and hay. Doesn't own much. Owns only 2 amamas, 2 qabas, 2 abas. That's it. That's his whole wardrobe. Such an individual, but so content, so happy, so calm. Some of our teachers said when we used to go to him and just speak to him, just the fact that we would sit next to him, we would also feel calm. He radiated calmness. Radiated calmness. But do you think he didn't have problems? Do you think he didn't have issues? Of course he did. Of course he did. Did Allama Tabatabai not have issues? Of course he did. To the point where they would slowly, in Najaf, when he was living in Najaf, he was 10 years in Najaf, he would sell, this is his story life, you can go see it. He would sell the objects in his house to pay for food. To the point where he had nothing left. Only a few items. And they sold those items, just to pay for the ticket to go back to their hometown in Tabriz in Iran. After this many years of studying, being an allama, a true mujtahid in all the sciences of Islam, all the sciences, because of economical issues, what happens to him? He goes and becomes a farmer and starts farming on land for 11 years. Not 1 year, not 2. This is all part of it. This was his test. And he became an A-star student. Got the best grades. Yes, he had to go to Tabriz. He spent that time. Because of that, then he came to Qom. And he's written the Al-Mizan book that even now to this day we use, and it is the best tafsir we have. The books that he's written, the things he has done to the houses, whether it be from philosophy to theology to all the books, to students that he has been able to bring up. Does he not have problems? Does he not have issues? Of course he does. Even in his late 70s, it was said that he got evicted from the place that he was staying because he couldn't pay the rent. And I mentioned a few nights before that he doesn't say, why is it? He says, Alhamdulillah, Allah has seen me worthy to test me like this. Ya Allah. Can you see this mindset? Can you see this mindset? Allah has seen me worthy to test me like this. Some of the awliya, brothers and sisters, it is narrated that when they didn't have problems in their lives, they were worried. They were worried. They said, Allah doesn't love us. Because there's no problems. Allah doesn't love us. Because He says in this hadith that if my mu'mineen, I will bring them bala. There will be problems. Because that's the way we grow. Now of course that doesn't mean I'm going to go looking for problems. I'm not going to go create problems for myself just so that, no. We have to wait for them to come. And we have to pray for them not to come. Of course, yes, we pray that Allah excel me without having problems. Or help me within the problems. It's not we go looking for problems. But in the same time that we're asking, of course, we don't want problems. We want everything to be good. But if it does happen, and it will happen, because this world is programmed in a way that you will definitely have problems, what happens then? I come out of this better than I did before. Because that's how I grow. That's how I grow. And all the a'mal that we do, brothers and sisters, all the hadith, all the salats that we do, all the fasting we do, is supposed to prepare me for this moment. So this problem of evil that they have in other faiths, we don't have it. The Ahlul Bayt have brought us it up in a way that from the beginning, from the time of Amir al-Mu'minin, we are used to it. We are used to resisting. Who are you trying to feed? Who are you trying to make scared? What? Fear of what? We're used to it. When we look at the lives of our Imams, we are used to it. There is not something you can say that or do that will be worse than Karbala. Will it be worse than that? No. So for me it is easy. And you've seen from then, the Mu'mineen, the Shi'ayan, any war that we fight, you've seen what happens. If you're a true Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen, is it able to fear? This fear, can they come into your heart? Of course not. I have Amir al-Mu'mineen. We have the sword of Amir al-Mu'mineen. We have the Zulfara of Amir al-Mu'mineen behind us. Who are you trying to fear? Who are you trying to scare? Sorry. This is important. This aspect, this ideology is etched in us from a young age, brothers and sisters. With Tawheed, as I mentioned yesterday, day before yesterday, with Tawheed, there will come problems. Why? Because the action of La ilaha illallah means that I worship nothing but Allah first. And because I only worship Allah, I will only listen to Allah. So you cannot say injustice to me. You cannot force me to do something that Allah has said to me no. You want to kill me? Kill me. I will be a martyr. Because for Allah I will do everything. It's His law. Not my law, not your law, not anyone's law, but His law. And we understand this La ilaha illallah through His wali. Look at every time that it says Ati'ullah, it's also Ati'ur Rasul. Does it not? It's an extension. So I understand, of course, if I want to implement Tawheed in my life, this is the way that I implement Tawheed in my life. Issues will of course come. Issues will be a part of it. It is never that I will live a life that there is no problems and everything is good. No matter how much money you have, how much wealth you have, even if you are a ma'soom, the problems will come. More than this, higher than this status, even if you are a ma'soom, like Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, problems will come. And not only will problems come, but for however higher you are, more problems will come. More issues will come. And you will have to say, face it. Now how am I supposed to face it? Of course, tawakkul to Allah. But another, which is very important, that this is what we've been doing for these nights, brothers and sisters, is tawassul. I have to do tawassul to the Ahlul Bayt. They are the examples of Tawheed. They are Tawheed. If I want to see La ilaha illallah in action, the action of La ilaha illallah is what Amir al-Mu'mineen did. The action of La ilaha illallah was what Imam Hassan did. The action of Abu Abdullah and its height of La ilaha illallah. Anything higher than this. Where can we see Tawheed higher than Karbala? Where? Show me one event that you can see more of Allah in this event than Karbala. We call Hazrat Ibrahim the king of Tawheed in the Quran. Correct? For what? For the sacrifice he did. Look at the sacrifice of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Which one is greater? Which one is higher? So why do we expect as the followers of Ahlul Bayt not to have problems? Of course we will have issues. As one of the signs of a mu'min is the fact that they will have problems. And another sign is that they will have tawakkul to Allah. They're content, they're happy with it. Yes, there will be issues, they will get upset. But in their hearts they are calm. In their hearts, tatma'in al-qulub. Their hearts are content with Allah. Because deep down they know that all of this is a part of the universe of Allah. It doesn't make a difference. Yes, I'm at the beginning or the middle or the end. It's all Allah. All of it's for Allah. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. I will have to die one day. However much money you make, however much high status you have, or whatever that will happen to you, it doesn't mean you will live forever. But a mu'min knows that, listen, I want to make it special. When I'm leaving this world, I want to leave in a special way. That's why we wish for shahada. That's why we pray for shahada. We pray for shahada. And shahada can come in different ways, brothers and sisters. It doesn't mean only in the battlefield. No. Even if I'm going out and I'm working for my family, I'm earning halal money, and I'm careful about halal money coming into my household, and on this way something happens to me, I'm a shaheed. I'm a shaheed. A mother working at home, taking care of her children, if God forbid she passes out, has a heart attack, she's a shaheed. The niyat is the important, the intention is important. We have to direct our intentions, brothers and sisters, in everything we do towards Allah. If I'm studying for Allah. Why? To better Islam, to better my community, to better this, to better that. Why? So I put this flag of Tawheed that has been on the shoulders of the prophets of Allah, all the way to the Imams, and now on the shoulders of the ulama, this flag of Tawheed, true flag of Tawheed. If I want to put this flag and instill it in my family, in my household, I need to instill the same mindset. Everything is for Allah. Even the fact that I am working for my family and providing for my family, it is for Allah. It's because Islam has told me to do so. I do ihsan to my family, it's because Allah has told me that I need to do ihsan to my parents. Everything is for the content of Allah. And you know what happens there, brothers and sisters? This arrogance that is the core of all of our problems. It's this arrogance, this meanness that I see myself that has all the problems, all these issues within us. It goes away. Why? Because when I do something good for a brother and I do it because of Allah and not because of them, in my mind there is no, he needs to pay me back. No. We don't have that in Islam. If I did it from Allah, Allah gives my reward. Not this person. I don't. So if this person later on comes back and does evil deeds to me, says bad things to me, backbites behind my back, even though I did good to him, I don't get upset at him, because I didn't do it for him. I didn't do it for them. I didn't do it for another person. Who did I do it to? To Allah. There's no, I need something back from this person. No, you did it for Allah. Bismillah, show me one other place that you can find this mindset. What other ideology do we have that has this mindset? In this way. In this way. Did Abu Abdullah or Amir al-Mu'minin, all of these individuals, not do good by the people? Did Abu Abdullah not leave and go towards Kufa for who? For who? For them. Was it not more easy for him to stay in Medina? Was it not more easy? A carefree life? Why did he leave? For them. What did they do? They betrayed him. But Abu Abdullah was all the same. For Abu Abdullah, he did it for Allah. For Abu Abdullah, it was all the same. These are lessons, brothers and sisters, that when we leave these doors today, I need to be thinking about it. I shouldn't be thinking about this person said that person said. I need to be constantly in a war with myself, with inside myself. What are my intentions? What am I saying? Did I say the correct thing? Did I not say the correct thing? How am I acting? How is my mindset? Has it changed? If I'm living my life and I'm saying there is not big of a difference between me and my neighbor, which is not a muhibba ahlul bayt, I'm doing something wrong. With no ta'aruf, brothers and sisters, I'm doing something wrong. And this is another important quality of a mu'min, a person that can take criticism. When I hear these criticisms, I take it to myself. Unfortunately, sometimes, until we hear something bad, a bad characteristic, what do we think of? Oh yeah, I remember that person. That person exactly was like this. This quality, they had it. Instead of first thinking about myself, when is the moment that I've done this? Otherwise, we will not improve. Otherwise we won't improve. Inshallah that we can instill all the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt truly in our lives, and inshallah that all of us become the closest companions of Hazrat al-Hujjat. Inshallah that truly, brothers and sisters, that this is the last lecture. Inshallah that when we leave these doors, Abu Abdullah looks upon all of us, Hazrat Zahra Salamullah looks upon all of us, and we live a life of Ashura'i, a Husayni life, a true Husayni life. Inshallah, it will not be the last time that we come to the majalis of Abu Abdullah. May inshallah the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah, whether it be Arba'een, whether other ziyarats, be bestowed and blessed upon all of us. And inshallah all of us will keep going towards the Zariz and the Haram of these Ma'sumin alayhi salam. And that never may the Ahlul Bayt take their hands away from our hands, and constantly this connection grow every day. Please recite salawat. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati halat bifnani alayka minni salamullahi abadan ma baghitu wa baghiya al-layl wa an-nahar ولا جعله الله لآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. All together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. As we look at the plains of Karbala, but only the silence of the wind. The caravan has left the plains of Karbala. Where have you left, Abu Abdullah? Still on the plains of Karbala. Ya la ilaha illallah. As they leave the plains of Karbala, Abbas is in 3 pieces in Karbala. Ali Akbar is irban in Karbala. I don't think a single individual, brothers and sisters, was in 1 piece in Karbala. No one was in whole. No one. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Abdullah. Every lover that has ever loved you has been in pieces. Ya Abdullah, fix this broken and peace heart of mine. May I also give my life for you, Ya Abu Abdullah. Ya Abu Abdullah, your message, your path is not over. There is still your followers with the flag of Ya Hussein ila al-yawm al-qiyamah. Ya Abu Abdullah, as you know, every child wanted to fight for you. Oh brothers and sisters, let's cry for one Habib that we haven't spoke about in these lectures, Abdullah ibn Hassan. Abdullah ibn Hassan was so young that when he came towards Abu Abdullah Hussein asking, oh my uncle, Ya Abu Abdullah, allow me to go to the battlefield. Abu Abdullah, when looking at Abdullah ibn Hassan, says, Ya Abdullah, which one of the armor can fit you? None of the armor can fit you, Abdullah. How can you sit on the saddle of a horse Abu Abdullah couldn't bear to see another Hassan choking on the blood. Abu Abdullah didn't allow Abdullah ibn Hassan to go to the battlefield. In those final moments for Abu Abdullah Hussein, we had narration, brothers and sisters, that when they were martyring Abu Abdullah, Abdullah was held tightly by Hazrat Zainab salamullah alayh. She wouldn't let him go. But finally, with a lot of struggle, Abdullah ibn Hassan got away from his auntie and ran to the qatligah of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Such a young boy, less than 7 maybe, coming into the battlefield, coming into the qatligah of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Ya Abu Abdullah, I can understand for Hazrat Abbas to give his hand, but how did Abdullah give his hand? As the sword came down on Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, Abdullah jumped in front of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, putting his hand in front. Such a small hand is such a big sword. The hand was completely clean cut off. Abdullah fell on the chest of Abu Abdullah, resembling his uncle Abbas, saying, finally, I am worthy to give my life for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. How could I have faced my father, Hassan al-Mujtaba, if I was alive after Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? How could I look upon the face of my father as I watched Abu Abdullah in pieces, crumbled, stones thrown at him? So here Hazrat Zainab had to witness another tragedy. Such a young boy, Abdullah ibn Hassan, with a zikr just like his brother, Ahlam and Asala. I also want to give my life for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. There is no age. Age is but a number. I want to give my life for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Ya Abu Abdullah, all I wanted to do is give my life for you. And he was struck down on the chest of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. But Hazrat Zainab, you had to witness one more tragedy as Shem sat down on the chest of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Ya Abu Abdullah, Ya Abu Abdullah, Ya Yawm Kulki Yawm Abu Abdullah. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون باسمك العظيم الأعظم. جل الأكرم بك يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله. Inshallah, may Allah look upon all of us on this night in the majlis of Abu Abdullah Hussein. May inshallah our last breath, brothers and sisters, be the beautiful name of Abu Abdullah Hussein. And in that time that they're coming to us to take our life away, in that moment that Hazrat Israel comes to us, Abu Abdullah comes. Inshallah, in those last moments when they're asking us the questions, whether it be Nakira Munkar or Bashir Mubashir, Abu Abdullah comes and answers for us. Please recite salawat.